Hi guys, it's Shane, and today I'm going to show you a behind the scenes video of how I animated this animation. So I'm actually in the process of animating it right now. I've only gotten about a quarter of the animation done. This shot's gonna be okay. This is probably gonna be one of the longest shots because it's gonna be demo, like yelling at Scout. You can hear.
Kids will fucking kill everybody because of you!
And this is, I'm going to explain this walking
Thanks.
thing right now that demo does, because in the very first shot of the video, there's a thing, let me switch to the camera, he does a walking animation. Now, unfortunately, when I imported that, I could not remove it. I just had to keep, like, extending this, the bookmark, because you can see where the motion starts here. I had to keep extending the bookmark, the bookmark, so that demo wouldn't do that. And I'm going to have to probably keep doing that throughout the whole animation. But yeah, anyways, that's the first thing. But anyways, we can go out of the work camera and we can see the behind the scenes. So I never really moved the legs, of course, because it only shows over the torso. But here, we can see the graph editor here. Yeah, I gotta select the scene. So here we can see the graph editor of demo. Yeah, he moves a lot. So here's Scout. There's one thing I don't like about how Scout, how Scout moves in this scene is how he just he moves his arm, how he moves his arm like that, and then he turns. I feel like that's sort of like robotic, and it's not really what I wanted. But I feel like I'm a little happy with it, but at the same time, I don't really know how to fix it. I feel like if I try to mess with it to see if I can fix it, it'll just mess it up even more, and I'll have to go back to undo. But you can see he comes out of the ground here at a sort of diagonal angle.
Hey, it's a soldier!
And then he meets demo. And so you can see this in this shot, in the final animation, it's going to look like the camera goes up like that, and it goes up to look at the sky. But what it actually did was it looks up at this house here, and it actually shows demo walking for a little bit. But you can see it only lasts for a few frames before it shows soldier in the sky, and the soldier is not moving forward or backward. Neither is the camera. I actually just I made the camera go up really fast and just, I made the camera go up to him. He's just jittering in this moment. He's not even moving. But this is really cool. I have to show you this scene. So this is one of the little fix arounds I wanted to do. So there was a problem I ran into with the scene, because originally what I wanted to do for the concept of this scene is that I wanted to run a physics animation where a soldier would fly really fast into a pile of boxes and ragdoll. But I quickly it turned out to be too much of a hassle, and I just sort of scrapped the idea altogether. And I was like, let's just make him fly right into the ground and there be an explosion. That's much easier. But unfortunately, I had made too many changes, and I couldn't undo to the point where before I put the simulation on soldier. So anything I did, he would end up just falling through the ground. So you can see, he would go there and he would fall through the ground. But I made a fix for this. You can see in the animation set editor, I have soldier 1 and then soldier 2. That's because since he falls through the ground, I copy and pasted his animation set. And watch this. We'll go frame by frame. Actually, let's go back here. I copy and pasted his animation set. And so when he falls through the ground, another identical soldier with his arms raised like he just fell on the floor pops out of the ground as well. And this is just similar to a trick that they did in Meet the Heavy, where Heavy, he places his minigun on a normal box model, like it's perfectly shaped. It's like a rectangle, and when he drops the minigun on it, it becomes like crushed. And they didn't have because that was made I think back in 2007. They didn't have the technical capability to just make it flatten like that. Either that, or it was too much work to do and it was too much of a hassle. So what they did was they created one model where it was the clean, original box, and then they made another model where it was crushed by the minigun. And what they did was, and it was out of camera so nobody noticed, but what happened was they took the original box and they made it go under the ground really fast, and at the exact same time they made the crushed model fly up at the exact same time. So it made like a seamless transition, like the box was being crushed, but it really wasn't. It was just switching between models. And that's the exact same thing that I did here. This was not intentional at all. This wasn't just something I did for the behind the scenes video. This was something that to fix an error, and of course I'd go down like that, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm a little I always imagine that I can do like more, you know, with the animations, that because I feel like they're just a little like, I forgot, how do you say it? Dull. I feel like they're just a little stale, you know, like stiff. Stiff, that's the word. I kind of like how this one turned out, but like I feel like Demo's a little too stiff here, and I'm pretty sure that's just because I haven't moved the arms, and I don't know if I really plan to, you know. But you can see I like this little detail here. I put the Scout, his eyes flicker back and forth.
There it is.
You got anything smart to say now?
I feel like his arm's a little stiff as well, but look, I literally make it so his, you know, lower arm moves and his hand moves. I think I'm supposed to add more to that, maybe. Maybe I will after I'm totally done, but yeah.
Pain is.
Here, let's just show you what it looks like off camera for this. So, actually, for placing Demo's, here's the thing for this laugh scene, for placing Demo's feet on the ground, he would just laugh. It would look like he was laughing at Scout's hip. His head would be at like Scout's hip level, and that did not look good on camera. You know, his head would be like right here. So what I did was I had Demo slowly float to the bottom when he bent. So it would be, you know, another seamless transition. And by the time he was done laughing, it was fine. He was like in his original position. It's a little noticeable. I like this.
Seriously,
I feel like
you all
this is not
suck.
stiff. This is probably like the least stiff animation in this whole video. Maybe not, because this is one of my favorite shots. When Medic's healing Scout, like, watch this. Now, I did not intend for him to, I just intended him to just, like, float, like, to just, like, move upwards. What was not intended was this, like, extra movement with the swing of his legs. You can see, look. Like, that little swing back and forth was not intended at all. It just happened. And it was just one of those things where it was a mistake actually added to the animation. And, of course, to make the camera all shiny, I just blew out the bloom of the camera all the way.
Come on! I want to die.
No!
I like how Demo moves here because I feel like the thing is, I feel like I move the spine too much. That's something I do, is I move the spine too much, and I think I'm going to make a lot more animations with SFM. I think that's something I'm definitely going to look forward to fixing, and I want to test out if like moving the spine too much is actually making it more stiff with this next shot. But yeah, I think I'm just going to focus on moving the spine a lot slower, a lot like longer, not like short all around, like with Medic, like with this shot, I moved it around a lot,
Me up last night.
and it looks really amateur. And I feel like when I see that scene, I feel like I could use it so much better than that, and I feel like it looks just so amateur, you know. And I feel like that's just with the spine movement. If there wasn't spine movement, I feel like it would be a lot better. But it's probably because this lower arm doesn't move after he does that. But that's also a little bit intentional because it's just meant to be like funny, you know, like low effort funny, you know.
I am your father.
I don't like how his hand sort of clipped through the grenades here, but I feel like this scene is fine.
No, I foresaw it.
When I was making this scene, I was intending from like the start that I was gonna add jitter, but I forgot, and while I was making him like bend over and stare at the camera, you know, he wasn't moving. I felt like, okay, this is the shot, but I feel like there's something missing, and I was like, oh crap, the jitter, you know. And of course I added the jitter, and it looked great. And of course this one was really easy. I didn't want to have Scout point. I was originally thinking that Scout was going to pull out a shotgun, and then of course, you know, there would be some blood particles, big blood particle. But then what I was originally intending, of course, was for my second and final thought was Scout was a shot of Scout pulling out the shotgun, and then of course this scene right here. But then I thought, okay, that's just gonna be that's I don't want to put too much effort into this. I don't want to take too much time in this, and this scene is already funny as a scene itself. So I just decided that this scene would be the whole scene.
No!
And of course, Medic does the thing where he's like,
No!
no, no.
No! Sad killing this hell!
I like the little hoch he does there, like, oh. And I don't know, I felt like I have mixed feelings about if I want to add like a medigun, but I feel like at the same time it's like the health is just coming out of his hands, which is a lot funnier.
No, Scott!
And I'm about to pose him and animate for the scene, so yeah, that's about it. And I know this looks a little stretched to you, and that's because I'm recording the window and it's not in full screen, so. Anyways, I'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye!